Hello, Lamer Gamers. This is Simply Travis, and today I'm going to be playing my favorite game of all time, Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Now, in this game, we are going to be role-playing, because it's essentially a role-playing game. It is very Dungeons & Dragon-esque, but it is pause-based, so you can do a lot of really fun role-playing, and we're going to be playing today as Bartleby, the summoner of bad ideas. And by that, I'm going to import a save. They kind of have these predetermined saves in this game, to where you are essentially, you just did everything wrong. Everybody's ticked off at you. And there's going to be some fun things that you're going to find out as I'm playing, where the gods from the previous game really just, don't treat you well. So, anyway, so I'm about to start, and go from here. Alright, let's go ahead and hit new game. Now we're going to do real time with pause mode. And this is on the Xbox One X, so it's going to be a little bit different for me. We're going to stick with relaxed, mainly so we can still have fun with the I guess, not dying all the time. So, we'll hit start game. Oh, by the way, if you've never played this, there's all sorts of other modes built into it. You can do an expert mode, and you can deal with the level scaling and stuff. So we're going to hit start game. And let me know if things are not coming in right, if my voice is not going too loud enough. I'm going to try to let the game talk where it's going to talk, and yeah, do its own thing. Here we go. Excited. So, and I've heard that this Xbox version does have a lot of loading time, so that'll give me some time to talk about some things, if anybody has questions and stuff like that. I'm not running it on a solid state drive. That's supposed to quicken it up. So you can see your main characters. Some of these characters won't be alive.
A world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Deerwood, a nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a watcher. One who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
Made a nice story. You fixing up that old keep? Lifting the curse? Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. That maybe the gods weren't finished with us. I used to dream that when my god came back, he would forgive us. Last the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
Nothing like dying as soon as you start a video game. Which we'll make some interesting decisions here in just a bit.
And so you wake to a sleepless world, the in-between of life and death. Follow your memories. You have been here before.
By the way, I always have a tendency to just immediately walk left to see if there's anything hidden. There's nothing. Let's go on through the Trail of Memories.
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and the watcher you will stay.
So this is going to give you some insight to the first game and what you went through.
Sees souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them back.
A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked?
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
Here we go.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
So if you never played the first game, the wheel is essentially a reincarnation wheel. And you found out that you find some interesting things about this wheel of reincarnation in this game. The last game, there were what were called the Hollowborn. They were soulless people, so essentially the souls were not going from the wheel into the bodies. And that was the crisis in the last game.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage. You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved merry gore, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
So I really enjoy the dialogue and the voice acting in this game. I'll be playing that mostly as we're going through and letting it do its own thing. Because it's very well written, it's very well voiced. And I'll speak up whenever it's not.
The creases of the dwarf's face tighten into a smile as he gives you a courteous nod.
What up? Come on, dude, we're going across this thing.
Sit.
So,
Please.
sure. Or I could just wander. You know, who cares about you? Yeah. I'm supposed to interact, but this is Bartleby. Bartleby is supposed to you know, do his own thing. Now, I can't really leave. Let's see if this guy will let me talk.
With mechanical stiffness, the dwarf tilts his head and silently gestures toward the empty chair.
Nah. Okay, well, you can't leave.
Sit.
Let's see if she'll let me talk to her.
Please.
Fine, then. Wasting my time.
Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in. A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times. She is preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
The brush with the divine, if I remember correctly, Miss Pallid Knight, I essentially just got squished by a god underneath the ground. A little more than a brush. Alright, so one of my favorite things about this game is you can choose different histories and import them. Now, if you played the first game on PC, you can actually import what you had done from the previous game. And that's how I played this initially. I played this through a couple of times with different characters. Bartleby is one that is for the last one. So you can make these decisions. You could be a benevolent soul. So you return the lost Hollowborn souls to their Deerwood's children. So basically the kids that were soulless, you gave them back to their parents essentially. And you pledged to Hylia, who is kind of bird-like. You were kind and merciful to the people you encountered, sympathetic to their pain and charitable to those that needed help. In this one, fair and balanced, you sent them to the wheel, and you pledged to Barath. Most of your other choices were judicious and balanced, tempered by rational thought and fairness, rather than sympathy or emotion. Survival of the fittest, you sent them to strengthen the Deerwood and pledged to Galawain, who is basically the god of the hunt in this game. Most other choices were made to make you awesome and your allies, while punishing and weakening your enemies. In one of my other playthroughs, I play as a character that is strictly focused on power, and that is what I used. Dark times. You consigned the souls of the Hollowborn to oblivion. As you had pledged to Rimmergond, you left a wake of physical destruction and spiritual annihilation wherever you went, seeking to bring a final end to all things. Haven't played that. I generally don't like playing a bad guy. In this game, I'm going to be more aloof than evil, really. It's just bad choices. Keeper of Secrets, you pledged to consign the souls of the Hollowborn to oblivion, as Rimmergond requested, but you ultimately gave your souls to Wudaka. You supported maintaining the god's secret as well as yours. Wudaka is an interesting character. You'll see her. And then our lovely choice by Bartleby. You did everything wrong. You pledged to do the bidding of every god and then scattered the souls of the Hollowborn to a random location. It's basically the anarchy one. Bartleby would be a punk rocker. You got every companion killed. You got the worst outcome for every single quest. And if there's a mistake you could have made while still resolving the Hollowborn crisis, you made it. So this is not suggested for new players, mostly because all the people from the past game really aren't going to be in here. And you know, I was a little afraid to do this one because we're going to miss out on some of the characters in this game. And there's a chance that I might go back if I'm finding, you know, maybe the create new history, which I need to go back accidentally. I just made a bad decision right off the bat. Let's see. Let's go back to create no legacy. Yes, I'm sure. Alright, let's go back to everything bad. Here goes.
Does everything appear to be in order?
Yeah, what do you think?
Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Bareth. One half, anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge. The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
Let's see. I think so. I pledged myself to do your exchange for your aid, if I remember correctly.
Your memory must have faltered in Sun and Shadow as well, because you did not deign to keep that pledge.
She
Things
slaps a
happen.
card down, a broken bell in a tower. The crack of the card on the table ripples through your soul like a shockwave, leaving you momentarily disoriented. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
There will be time to deal with that later.
Her black eyes stare through you, unblinking, for a long, uncomfortable moment.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Odnua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Aothus. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are. Though Aothus stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between. You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced watcher to find him.
Well, why don't you just go do it
Taking a
yourself?
physical form in Aora is fraught with peril. Most mortal minds and bodies are incapable of containing divine power. It can lead to problems, as Aothus learned not long ago.
Her armored hand gingerly places a card sideways on the table. It features a man with a burst of light instead of a head.
It doesn't really matter how much you threaten me. I'm not going to do this. I got better things to do. I was having a good old time just being a disembodied series of light.
Unfortunate. This will prove much more difficult without someone of your unique talents and circumstances.
She raises her gauntleted hand and gestures to the dwarf hovering at the periphery. The dwarf nods, the supernaturally wide smile returning to his face. He gestures for you to follow him.
Alright, see you later. Deuces, I'm out.
No sooner has Bareth spoken than you feel yourself dissolve. It is not an unpleasant sensation, something between falling asleep and drifting on a warm current. Your essence is pulled through the Audra, where it mingles with the stuff of thousands of other souls. Your thoughts, your memories, even your identity as the Watcher, fade like a dream. Eventually, your soul reforms and finds its way into a small, crawling thing of fur and claws. You know the world by sound and scent, as food and danger. The concerns of gods and nations are beyond you. It is a simple and satisfactory existence, though your mind can conceive of no other. Whether it is a long one will depend upon the Watcher Bareth chooses in your stead.
Alright, so that's the game, guys. I just died right in the beginning sequence before I even made my character. I did that in my first playthrough, and didn't realize the game will straight up kill you at the beginning. And this can happen as you're talking with people that Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire will just murder you mindlessly. So we're going to get through this and start over again because we didn't even get to save. Let's go back. Bartleby has made his first decision, but luckily we're going to go ahead and skip the intro this time. As I'm sure y'all don't want to watch that again. So we'll make Bartleby make one good decision. How about that? At least that way we can play the game. Alright, so those are kind of some images that you can see from the hacks, which are really good in the game. Alright, so
An aged dwarf shares this. You can see.
we're gonna skip through this now. Let's walk through and go talk to Barath. Now that she graciously picked me off the wheel and no longer made me a small scurrying furry creature, which I assume was a squirrel.
Sit.
Or a mole rat.
Please.
There's no telling. Okay, let's get this over with, Barath.
Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
A pale, slender neck
yeah,
rises
yeah.
from the gorget. She is preoccupied.
Your brush
Okay,
with the divine has...
I don't have time for this. Let's look at my cards.
Does
Yeah.
everything
We gotta do
appear to
everything
be in
bad.
order? Good. Welcome to the Beyond.
The dwarf's rictus.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
Alright. I'm just not gonna say anything, because I'm
You prayed for
cranky.
my help in reaching Theos, beyond the Court of Penitence, and pledged yourself to me. You made similar vows
Cheers.
to Rimmergond, Helia, and Galawain.
The skin of her face pulls tight as the edges of her mouth curl into a macabre smile.
The wheel turns for all mortals, Watcher. You had to know that sooner or later your turn would come.
She slaps a card down, a broken bell in a tower. The crack of the card on the table ripples through your soul like a shockwave, leaving you momentarily disoriented. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
There will be time to deal with that later.
Her black eyes stare through you, unblinking, for a long, uncomfortable moment.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Odnua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Aothis. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are.
He looked really dead to me as he was
Though
squishing
Aothis
my
stole a large
brains.
fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between. You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours.
So, am I dead?
No.
Let's just get this over with.
But neither is your body truly alive. Your lungs draw breath, your heart pumps blood, but your flesh is as soulless as a hollowborn. That is, until I return you.
She delicately places a card upright on the table. The art depicts souls flowing out of a pillar of Audra.
Alright. You've already turned me into a furry animal. Let's just get on with this.
Good. Before you return to Aora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life in death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
When you can picture your own face, the Beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
Alright, so it is time to make a character. Let's see. So, we're going to be a male. And I think of Bartleby as a dwarf. He's just having a good old time. So, by virtue of land, covered in number of colony settles, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They're commonly found in the Deerwood and the Valley and Republics, and almost any colonized lands. They're known for their great strength and tenacity, so I'll get +2 might, +1 constitution, and -1 dexterity. Now, there are other races in this game. The Amona are the largest of the Kith race, and are commonly found in or near oceans. They're not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their other civilizations, such as Ratawi, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength, so it's your warrior class. Elves are the dominant race in Irglanfath and the White That Wins, and are extremely common in the Deerwood and Adir. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as a commonly isolationist nature, so they get 1 dexterity and +1 perception. Godlikes are interesting. They are the children of the Kith. Kith basically means normal races. who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. See, this dude, he looks fancy. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical and godlike, are unable to wear protective headgear, as it's near impossible to find anything to fit. So no fancy hats. You can't wear a fedora into battle. You're just stuck with it. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. So +1 dexterity, +1 intellect. Humans, they're just called folk, are the most common race in the Deerwood, the Adir Empire, Old Valley, and the Valiant Republic. Though not as large as the towering Amawa, humans are known for their strength and willpower. And then, one of my other favorites, the Orlans. They are the smallest of the Kith races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears, two-tone skin, and hirsute bodies. Orlans are commonly found in Eir Glanfith, the Examinal Plains, and part of the Deerwood. They are known for their mental intensity and sharp senses. See, that's the antithesis of what my character will be this game. So let's go ahead and pick my dwarf. And do we want to be boreal or mountain? They live in the remote southern island of Nasitak, where they share the rocky tundra and snow-covered forest with migratory pale elves. Rarely seen in other lands. And let's see, this one, they're from the Adir and the Old Empires. Spread rapidly. They're the most well-traveled. Their incredible journeys have exposed them to all manner of lethal hazards. Ooh. So these have long preyed on hunter. We're going to go with this one because I think I'm going to need a little bit of... I make bad decisions, right? I'm going to need a resistance to constitution afflictions. And I'm hale and hearty. Would you like to make a single class or a multi-class? So, we are going to go ahead and do single class as a summoner. You can multi-class in this game, but I want some of the highest level demons or monsters to really screw things up. So, the classes in this game are Barbarian, Chanter, which is kind of like a bard, essentially. Cypher is basically Professor X or Psylocke. Very fun. Druids, Fighters, Monks. They are the healers, essentially, in the game. Paladins. Paladins are a little bit different in here. They're devoted to a god or even just like a way of living. Basically, they're just fanatics. They really believe in something. Priest. Oh, I think I had mine wrong. Monks are like a traditional monk. I'm sorry. Priests are the healers. They have some really cool stuff too in there. Rangers. Then Rogue. And Wizards. So, if I remember correctly, this is the class that really does the summoning. So we are going to be Chanters. So let's view my ability tree just to make sure. So, yeah, we're going to call up some stuff. I haven't played too much in this class, but it's a pretty fun one. So we have Buff, History, Arcana, and Sleight of Hand. Alright, let's pick that. And we can have a subclass. So it's not quite dual classing. We can be a Beckoner. They specialize in invocations that summon spirits. They can do twice the number of creatures, but they're smaller. That's an interesting one. Scald. They hang out from the back lines, depend on toe-to-toe combat. We're not really going to be doing that. Troubadours are masters of chant, able to adjust the speed. Nah, not really. And then Bellower. Found in communities steeped in hardship, particularly among those that have experienced recent misfortune. Yeah, we are going to go with the Beckoner. because let's see, Bellower. Their name stems from the rare, violent, impassioned outbursts of fearsome magic. Their tales better resemble a collection of ramblings and gibberish than coherent stories. Invocations consume all remaining phrases. Yeah, I think we're going to go with Beckoner because I really want to focus on... really kind of focus on this specific... I want lots of bad things. So, let's see what we want to do. So, we can call Beyond the Shroud and summon a phantom fight for us. Don't really want that. Or do we want skeletons? Summons 3 skeletons to fight for the party. I'm gonna go with... Let's get skeletons. They'll be my friends. Then for a phrase, we can increase stride and reflex of all allies in the area. Tears of the life force of enemies. Reduces slashing and piercing damage. Or emboldens all allies in the area, giving them bonuses to fortitude and will. Let's go with that one. Okay, so hit next. Now, my main things are going to be Constitution, Intellect, and Resolve. I don't want to be that smart. I kind of want to be dim-witted, but I need that for... So I'm just going to leave him at average. We're going to be very strong-willed, though. And we are going to be nigh... We're going to be... I'm going to take away some points from perception. I want to be absolutely oblivious. So that way we can pump up our Constitution. Looks like I can tap out at 19. Then we'll bump up. And I'll just be fearless. Let's see. We'll get and add some points to this. So, we are going to be from... Really going to look for the thing that's going to give me something I want. Not intellect. I'm sure somebody is just losing their mind at how I created that character. Alright, so my job could be a troublemaker. Definitely not an aristocrat. A drifter. He never fit quite in. Kind of like that one. Laborer, mercenary. Nah. Let's go with dissident. Now, I want a big shield. We're going to go with the wall for a large shield. And then for a hand weapon, the main thing is if somebody's close to me, I do need to be able to do something. So what would I use with my other hand? That just seems like a dumb idea. I don't know, big old axe seems fun. Okay, so we are going to determine our, and your portrait doesn't really line up with your character in this game. So we can see if there's one that I like. I think I might just stick with the one that they gave us. Okay, so how do I... No, don't want to do that. Okay, you gotta press RB. So let's go with some lamer gamer colors. Okay, don't really have the orange I want. Let's go with our cyan. Should be the other way around. Let's look. It's not really cyan on my screen. That'll work. Okay, I'm gonna have red-haired. I'm gonna make a character look a little more like me. Let's go with a more brownish. Much more of this quarantine, I'm gonna be looking like that with my hair soon. Okay, and green eyes that you'll never ever see because it's gonna be so far away. All right, let's see which faces I can choose. I don't know what's on his face, to be honest. I think I liked 2. Okay, we got a mohawk or something. I'd like a mohawk. Need the punk rock one, right? Yes! Oh, facial hair. There we go. So, which voice are we going to use? Now, you can actually choose some voices from the Vox Machina games. Or, it's not a game, it's like a series you can listen to. I want to be this. That sounds about right.
After him!
Or do I want feisty?
You're mine!
And we want to be... Are we going to be sassy? Erudite? Seems like he'd be drunk occasionally. Or is he just bouncy in general? Nah. It's a bad decision machine, right? Okay, so I am... the Great Bartleby. Alright, so my character is straight up dumb. Well, I mean, he's got bad perception. He just doesn't really pay attention to anything. He's okay intelligence. Gonna have high constitution, so he's gonna be very much a tank character. And we will start the party. It only took 38 minutes to start my character.
Go forth now, Watcher, as my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly.
Whatever.
When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you. To open the gateway from the in-between to the waking world. Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be your chest. The pain continues, intruding deeper into your soul. Looking down, you see a small lump of darkness roiling within you.
A chime. Do not fear, Herald. It will not harm you unless you choose to cross me again.
The pits of her eyes darken briefly, flashing a death's head your way. The translucent mask quickly returns, and her gauntleted hand gestures to the dwarf hovering nearby. The dwarf nods, contorts his face with his odd smile, and gestures to a new door.
Alrighty. It is time to head out. Let's see if she's got any last things to say.
I suggest you get on
I was
with
going to
the
try to
task
take a
at
nap
hand.
before then.
The creases of the dwarf's face tighten into a smile as he gives you a courteous nod.
Ah, you can see my mohawk has come in nicely. Yes. So we are about to finally get our body back. Now I am curious because in this mode I'm going to not have some of my companions. I'm curious if the main one is going to be here. So there is my body. Let's jump in. All right.
The return to your body feels like waking after a fitful drunken sleep. The rocking of the ship sends pain jolting through your limbs. Crashing waves hammer inside your skull.
My lord, have you returned to us?
The voice echoes from inside the bust. The remains of the steward of Cad Nua.
How are you feeling?
Alive?
Given what you've suffered, that is no small accomplishment. I hate to
Telling me.
cast a pall over your recovery, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. Cad Nua has been destroyed. Aethys possessed the statue of Maros Nua and rose from the ground, consuming the souls of all nearby.
So in the game, Cad Nua is the keep that you lived in. And in
It is
the
only by the exceptional strength of your soul
main
that you
version of this
survived.
game, you could
And
click all
even
those
then,
words.
Just barely.
Because there's a lot of stuff in this game that it's not really explained. And I'll have to see if there's a way... There we go. So you can actually highlight over things. Let's go with Maros Nua. So there's a lot of lore built into this game. And so it explains to you things whenever you're completely lost. The first game had... I think a book that you could get that came with it that was
The further
insanely
Aethys
large.
withdrew, the weaker you became. We chartered this ship and followed him to the Deadfire archipelago. I know not how, but it seems he has retained a piece of your soul, and proximity to it has brought you back. My lord,
know.
you've barely moved in weeks. How?
Misfortune's brewing topside. Magrans fires the captain stirs.
An older man with ale-sour breath rubs his bloodshot eyes and stares at you.
So I'm kind of sad. I don't see Eater, which is a really good character in the first game, which means things are going to get really hard for me, because I think he's dead, and he's my normal tank
Engrim,
character.
the smell of drink on your breath could wake the very dead. Now what's this about?
Pirates. They're demanding parley with you, Captain.
It would be
All
wise to
right.
arm yourself first, my lord. You'll find equipment in the wardrobe next to me.
Heck yeah, let's look at this. Ukaizo. So, how do I... So we want our battle axe, shield, and all these goodies. Oh, I want all the gold. Oh, I guess I can get... By the way, the way gold and things work on this game is... So these count as essentially one copper pond. They base it on this CP system. So I have 15 gold. Well, you multiply 15 by
You should
12, and
prepare
that's
for battle,
really
my lord.
how much you
I
have.
would not wager on the mercy of pirates.
Alright. So, let's view... Well, it went away. Alright, so generally whenever you equip items, we are going to bring these, and you can have weapon sets based on what you really need in a battle, because oftentimes you'll find that slashing weapons won't work, or weapons that or pokey, penetrate, things like that. So let's get mail armor and put it on. So you can see that this will have a rating, base armor rating of 3 versus 7. It shows the crush and the freeze, which you're resistant to, and recovery time is how long it takes before you do your next move, essentially. So we're going to put this in the party stash, and I think that's it. So I guess I can't go to the other screens right now. You can, oh, yeah, I guess you can.
The pirates of
All right.
Deadfire are notorious. I suggest you deal with them quickly. The pirates of Deadfire are notorious.
Okay,
I
fine.
suggest you
Jeez.
deal with them quickly.
So we are about to parlay with some pirates. And once again, the load times may be a little slow on this game. That's been the biggest complaint, really.
Well, what have we here? Who? Lost and alone in the storm?
So a surly, brutish looking captain stands stiff-backed before his crew. He scowls as he assesses you, his hair whipping about his
I'll be
ears in the
taking
wind.
your ship now, if you don't mind. And especially if you do. Give her up
Oh,
easy,
Benwith.
and I'll see you get a swift death. It'll be bloody and agonising, sure. But at least it'll be quick.
Alright, we have to make bad decisions, right? So let's make a rude hand gesture. You can imagine what that hand gesture would be. So you can see over there, it keeps going away. That's the bad thing about this version.
Oh, I like your spirit.
He laughs long and loud over the din of the hollowing rain. Then he sobers instantly, his face
But
a
that
mask of rage.
won't spare you none. Listen up, mates.
He cracks his neck as he addresses his
I'm off
crew.
to spear me a bigger fish. One with sharp like. I'm trusting you lot not to cock this up. Don't damage the sloop when you take it.
So at least the bad
With
guy
a crew
is
if
running
you'd
off,
like,
right?
But don't bring me any prisoners. None that are alive.
You heard, Benwith! After him!
Oh, okay, so this is a pause-based game. I have never played this before on this version, so let's see what we do. Now, I am to use a modality. So this is going to essentially, let's see if I can do it doesn't it? I have some chants that will be going through, and my character will be saying these that will essentially buff everybody as I'm playing. So this to do something. I don't have any other chants at this moment, and I've got it to pause quite a bit. Is there a way to zoom in? So my action bar is RT. I have to basically get one more thing before I can summon that. Now, let's go ahead and use this on our pirate friend here. Oh, I have one right in front of me. Okay. Let's use it on this too. And I really wish you could see an explanation. I wonder if there's a way to do that. I'll have to look a little bit later. Alright, let's unpause. Do our first spell. Now, I definitely want to slow things down. Okay, so I have to adjust this bar at the top, my capture options, because I can't really see it. Slow down time.
Defend the ship!
Okay, so I should just be attacking. Now, right now I have AI behavior on. I will be setting it to this for the time being, to where it just auto attacks. Because I like being a little more control. So we're going to be attacking. This dude's almost dead, and whenever I kill him, it should pause the game. Speed it up. Alright, so it did. There we go. Let's go pause the game. Oh, sorry guys, I have a dog jumping in the party. That's barking. Hey, Pig, chill. By the way, my German Shepherd's name is Pig. Alright, we are going to have some friends join. And let's unpause and call up some friends. Oh, too late. The guy exploded.
Storm's picking up. Take cover.
So that was fairly easy. You've defeated the pirates. You're not out of trouble yet. The storm is up, lashing your ship and drives you close to a rock. The Defiant's crew is to reduce sail and batten down. They work quick. Ship is still listing heavily, so the Defiant our ship. Just then, a loose crate tumbles towards you, gathering speed on the rain deck. It misses you, but knocks Chatupak, one of your deckhands, off his feet. The Defiant heaves. Chatupak pitches over the side. He goes onto the rail, but his fingers are slipping. He cries out for help. The runaway crate totters on the edge of the deck, ready to plunge. You recognize the front and realize it contains salvage from Cadnua, your keep. Well, I am the bad decision maker, so sorry Chatupak, but I want my stuff. You seize the crate just as it's about to tip into the royal. It's heavy, but you manage to heave it back from it. As it thumps onto the deck, you hear a fading scream. Chatupak is gone. No sign of him in the churning wave. Meanwhile, the storm has nearly driven you. A flash of light shows a treacherous coast and Aethys striding distance, who obviously to wear some pants. Scout barely has time to shout before the Defiant runs aground. The impact hurls you from the deck and into a froth of waves, bodies and scream. You struggle to the beach just ahead. Even as the surf tugs you toward the open sea, you kick and with all your might, till it feels sand between your fingers, pulling yourself ashore. So just a real, I really love they woodcut and etching styles in these little segments that are more Dungeons and Dragons-esque. And whenever you get to this screen, this is obviously digital painting, but it's well done. It looks like a good illustration, but I don't believe it's real paint, from what I can tell. Oh hey, we got Lamppost Gaming over here. How you doing, man? Just caught him jumping in there. Alright, so we have to explore the island. You wake to the sound of waves and the taste of sand in your mouth. You've survived the storm washed onto an unfamiliar shore. And the sand around you lies the scattered debris from the wreckage of the Defiant. Nearby, you spot a familiar stone bust.
It's a relief to see you awake, my lord. I worried you were in for another long sleep.
Your steward appears to be lodged between some rocks. Despite this, her tone is warmly cheerful. I hate boats.
Unfortunately, I believe we'll be needing the Defiant yet. Unless you mean to settle down on the island for good.
Hey, Barath, any help here? By the way, if you're just now checking in, because I see a couple people over here, Barath is the god that just pulled me off the wheel of reincarnation and brought me back to life. And I'm not too thrilled with her, because she actually killed me right off the bat, and I had to start over already. There is no reply save for the calling of gulls and the constant crash of the water upon the shore. Alright, what do we do now?
It is your decision, but Aethus still holds a piece of your soul. He was moving inland last I saw of him. I rather think he will have been hard to miss. Whatever your aims, I'd say you have a better chance of accomplishing them with some assistance. Let's look for survivors first. Supplies after that.
Okay, so
For now, I'd say your best bet is to find some sign of civilization. If nothing else, we may be able to hire on a shipwright. My lord, if it is not too taxing, could you explain how it came to pass that you were returned to us?
Squint dramatically while looking out at the ocean. I've returned as the Herald of Barath. I'm on a special mission to find Aethus and learn what his plans are.
A perilous
Yes.
endeavor indeed. Castle or no castle, you are still my lord, and I will aid you to the best of my ability.
Delightful. Thank you, random stone lady in the dirt. Let's get this. Get some killer's gloves. Nice. Oil of allure and some thief's putty. So they'll give me some special stuff. Let's go check this dude. I can get a wand, some minor potions, and kappa. So let's see. I went in. Let's go ahead and save the game before I die again. And I am Bartleby. Okay, so now that's the wrong screen. That's gonna pull up my tutorials. Once again, sorry guys, this game is brand new to me on here. There we go, there's a little wheel I'm looking for. So we want to equip some stuff. So let's go to my inventory. And I have to put my fancy gloves on. Alright. And I don't really want the wand, but I'll put it as a secondary just in case I want to use it. Okay, let's see if there's anything I need to use in here. So you can see the area map. It kind of displays as you're going through. Which, by the way, you have a world map, which we are just now showing off. Yep, and once again, Pig is very excited about the world map. You can see the journal. You can actually see a log of the combat and things. So we have. Let's look at our character sheet real quick. So in here, you can see your stats, what you do basically. You can actually check the reputations of various, I guess, people and places. Your disposition, you know, if you're going to be all these different things. And rest. Alright, so let's go ahead and run around and talk to this dude's
Hope
ghost.
the rest of those sodden bastards made it.
Alright, so we're going to take their stuff. Let's go look upon the beach. Oh, looks like I can't walk around that way.
Consider it.
Got some rope and grappling hooks. So if you've ever played an RPG, you know those things are helpful. These are going to be good later when we actually have a ship.
Help! Somebody!
You just heard her saying Percamplanca. You're going to hear a lot of made-up languages in this game. Leather armor. Oh, a fancy hat. We need a fancy hat, guys. Oh, but it's going to cover up my mohawk. I lied. Alright, so we're going to climb up. The Defiant is looking far worse for wear after its unexpected landfall. The hull is splintered in several places along the keel. while the tattered sails stand as evidence of your battle with the pirates. So, the deck of the Defiant is well out of reach from here. The ship groans like a beached whale each time the waves roll in. But it doesn't seem to be listing further. You may be able to climb up. Well, we're going to go ahead and use our handy grappling hook. One good throw and the hook sails up over the rail, catching firmly. A few tugs suggest that the grappling hook could hold fast. So let's climb up. The rope makes ascent considerably easier, and you soon find yourself climbing up over the rail.
Watcher, is that you?
The ghostly figure turns towards you, voice rising eagerly.
It is strange. I see nothing. A gray nothing. What happened? I remember the ship listing under our feet. Something struck me.
You were killed by a crate. Not the noblest end, but at least it was quick, right?
Was it? I forget. I thought the end would be different. You were a watcher. You would have been our captain. Tell me, where am I to go?
What use is a dead deckhand? Go away. Chittapek's ghostly brow wrinkles with mournful confusion. He says nothing further, but as you move away, you become aware of his presence following you in his wake.
You're looking better, Casita. That, or I'm worse off than I thought.
The sheen of sweat on her brow and the wan cast to her features bellies Irina's casual greeting. Now, casita is a valiant term for captain. You'll hear this occasionally.
It's my leg, Matico. It hurts even worse than it looks.
It's probably a cuss word. Yeah, it's a valiant expletive or curse. Irina's leg bears a bloody gouge along the length of her shin, and the swelling around her knee suggests a nasty break. Okay, first, what happened?
I was a stubborn Postanaga. I was trying to fasten this mess down when we struck shore. Barrel rolled right over my leg.
Oh, you silly, stubborn carrot.
Everything we've been through, and I'm nearly done in by a cask of rum.
Know that.
Funny thing,
Have you
it's
seen
hard
anyone
to see
else?
much from the underside of the barrel.
Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna carry you back down. Gonna flex these
Quite
muscles.
romantic, Casita. I'll try not to hold it against you if you drop me. There must be other survivors out there.
That's all you gotta say? I just carried you down and you're just like, yeah, they're... Ooh, spark crackers. I'm gonna have to put some stuff in my sack in just a second. So you have a sort of inventory, you have a quick item box, and you can take things like spark crackers and access them as you're fighting. Now, once again, this is Bartleby, the summoner of bad ideas. Usually, explosives are bad ideas, so we are going to be using explosives quite regularly. Let's see if there's anything I want. None of this stuff really want to use just yet. And I can't really eat the fish in battle. Alright, let's go around. I got some bombs. That's all I need.
Not a problem.
Oh, who's that?
Spy! Magrin, here! My flame burns yet. Is that you?
Eld Ingram appears to be in a sound condition, though his wax jacket is soaked through. He appraises you with bleary-eyed amusement.
You woke just in time for the fun. Fighting off motherless raiders one moment, flung into the freezing depths of Andra's bosom the next.
So, Andra is the goddess of oceans. If you've never seen this game, you'll be very surprised how she looks. Yeah. Oh, she's also the goddess of forgotten things, loss, relentlessness, and mourning. So very kind of like ancient Greek-style gods in this game, or even like Assyrian. Ingram's eye twitches as he flashes a smile, notable for its extraordinary absence of teeth.
Magran learns us poor bastards that a little excitement's good for the heart.
Even the gods can't break me, Ingram.
Some others might think that blasphemy. But when Magran hears it, Captain, oh, she knows you're filled with a fire.
So Magran is the goddess of war, fire, transformation, purification, consumption, and trials. His eyes grow wide in excitement.
There's nae getting the ship back underway without repairs. Yonder road inland seems the best chance of that. You want to be kicking some of the corpses before you go, see if some cry out. We need a crew if we're to set sail. I'll see you at the campfire, Captain. Magran's flame warms my soul, but these ailed bones need a touch of the real thing.
Alright, well, you'll find Arena there.
Good. I'll keep an eye out for others to do the same.
Now, I know I don't want to go to the Deadfire Archipelago just yet. By the way, there's ways you can speed things up. Like this is fast mode, then you can go with slower modes, and things like that. The backgrounds are really nicely designed. Really enjoy the art style. We'll go into the sea cave in a minute. I gotta look around a little bit more.
Already on it. Ahead.
Alright, our first real enemy. War. Now, I don't know how to sneak just yet. Normally that's pretty helpful. Let's call friends. But first we want this. Then we want to call up our friends, the skeletons. And there's a way to hang behind your... Now they might disrupt me, even though... There they are! There's my buds. So, we are going to...
Better run!
Attack the boar. Now, no... If they work autonomously. Yep, they are autonomous. And I think they just completely destroyed the boar. Thanks, guys. Gotta remember just press X. So I'm gonna look real quick at the controls, because not completely familiar. Okay, so that's the next character. Highlight interactables. That's gonna be useful, and zooming out and in. Perfect. Awesome. Let's zoom in. Then we can zoom out. Yeah, it's not as high res as I was hoping, but it still looks pretty good. I don't think there's anything this way. So yeah, that's fast mode. Oh, I forgot to check sneak. So let's go look at that real quick. That's really what I needed. Toggle stealth. So it's just pushing in that left stick. That works for me.
Nothing will slip past me.
Sneak. And I'm trying to think if there's anything I need to use in combat introduction. Okay, so you can do the LT for the radial menu. Okay. Are there any other tutorials I need? Chance. So, you can create chants. They're selected by doing that, and it's just basically gonna do it as you're playing. It'll be an automatic kind of buff that goes on.
Isn't there supposed to be a light?
Maybe. Looks like there's a little cave over there. We can head to that later, maybe. speed up, slow down. So we are about to go into the cave. Let's see if there's any friends in here to fight against. Now, maybe this is... Oh, no, there goes the loading. Some people were saying that some of the loading, especially in some of the bigger cities, can take up to 2 or 3 minutes. I haven't seen anything like that. It's not too drastically different from what I've seen on the computer. Zoom out a little bit. And it's telling me how to stealth, what I was looking for earlier. Which might be helpful, but we don't make good decisions here. So this is our interactables. So we can have a torch and all this good stuff. Now I wonder if this is stuff I can mess with. Nope. There will be no sneaking for Bartleby. Look at that big old bug. Oh, dogs are very unhappy with the bug. So, the battle really hasn't started, it's just I've noticed a character. Now it's started. So, we are going to... Now, I don't remember if these are per battle or not. So, I guess we'll find out. Oh, hold on. This. Alright, so we are going to have our fight. Let's see. After this fight, I'm going to go ahead and end things, catch up with some stuff over here. I might be online later if you want to check it out. And follow the fun times with Bartleby. So we are all
Death to our enemies.
About to attack. There is a way to sit around and just use your shield. I just don't remember how to do it. Let's see. Alright. Let's unpause and let them do the dirty work. That was easy. Ooh.
Already.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and save the game. Let's just go over this. And that is going to be it for today. Thank y'all for watching and follow along. This will be posted to YouTube, so you can keep up with the misadventures of Bartleby, the summoner of bad ideas. So if you can't be here during a stream, don't worry, you'll always be able to catch up. Alright guys, that is it for me. Don't forget to check out the podcast, Lamer Gamers Podcast, wherever you cast your pods, except for iHeartRadio. Alright guys, y'all have a good one.